Back in the early 2000s, Top Gear gave us one of the greatest rivalries ever. The Porsche 996 GT3 RS versus the Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale. Two hardcore track-focused weapons that left us dreaming of which one we wanted to take home. But what if you could own a slice of that magic without spending a fortune? Well, that's exactly what we have here. The Porsche 996 Carrera and the Ferrari 360. Now these may not have the hardcore track focus of their siblings, but they still carry that very special DNA of that era. So in this episode, I'm going to put these two cars head to head, from design, performance, and driving experience, and then I'm going to give you a really honest view on what they like to own, maintain, and live with, and then give you my opinion on which one makes a better modern classic. First up, we have my Ferrari 360. Now this is a 3.6 litre V8 engine with 400 brake horsepower, and it screams all the way through until 8,500 RPM. Now it comes with a space frame chassis, a mid-engine layout, and you could have got them in manual or F1 gearbox like this one. And from a design perspective, it really is a rolling piece of art. It has these flowing Pininfarina lines, it has a low slung stance, and it has this glass engine cover showing that glorious V8. Now this isn't just a car, it's a statement. And then there's this, my Porsche 911 Carrera 2 996. Now at first glance, it couldn't be more different. Subtle, understated, even a bit controversial with those Friday headlights. But don't let that put you off, because this is still a properly quick and engaging car. Now it has a 3.4 litre flat six engine, delivering 300 brake horsepower. That power is delivered to the rear wheels through a 6-speed manual gearbox. Now it's not the loudest or most dramatic 911, but it's light, it's agile, and it's full of character. Now specs are one thing, but numbers don't tell you how these cars make you feel. So let's get them out on the road and see which one wins where it matters most. Now right away, the 996 just feels right. The steering is light and full of feedback. The chassis is well balanced and yet playful. And the power delivery, well, it's enough to keep things exciting without the car feeling like it's trying to kill you. Now this is a car you can drive hard, anywhere and anytime. It's fast, but it's never overwhelming. And unlike the Ferrari, you don't feel like you need a racetrack to enjoy it properly. Now if you do need to stop in at the shops, the car is really practical. It has usable front boot and rear seats, if you can call them that. Now this is your classical Porsche formula. It's everyday practicality meets pure driving pleasure. And then you get into the Ferrari and everything changes. The throttle is razor sharp, the V8 screams, and the whole car feels like it's been designed to attack corners. When pushing it, it demands respect. The 996 works with you. The 360 challenges you. The steering is heavier, the suspension is firmer, and the F1 gearbox, well, let's talk about that. Now at full throttle, it's brilliant. It's fast, it's brutal, it's dramatic. But at lower speeds, it does feel a bit jerky or a bit clunky. Now you can put the car into auto mode, but what's the point? Now this is a car that begs to be driven hard, and when you do, it overwhelms your senses. It's raw, it's loud, and it's alive. Whereas the Porsche is surgical, it's precise, it's confidence inspiring. They're both fast, but they both speak entirely different languages. One of them is a precision scalpel, and the other is an adrenaline shot straight to the heart. Now when we talk practicality, this is where the Porsche shines. It's compact, it's easy to park, it's practical. It has decent fuel economy, even for a sports car. And you can actually use it daily. It has rear seats, perfect for kids, your gym bag, or justifying to your partner. And the Ferrari, not so much. it's wider, it's lower, it's tricky to park. Speed bumps, multi-story car parks are an absolute nightmare. And the frunk, well, it's a lot smaller. Try and fit a weekend luggage into that. So the Porsche is your dependable weekend runabout, perfect for coffee runs or school matches. The Ferrari, more like your weekend escape. It's exotic, it's thrilling, it's impractical, but in the best possible way. So let's now talk about the real cost of these cars. And we'll first start with value retention, and then we'll go into maintenance. Now, if we take the Ferrari 360, the cost of the car was £105,000 new. Today you could get one for about £50,000. So it has a 48% value retention rate. Whereas the Porsche 996 cost £58,000 new. Today you could pick up one for about £15,000. Now that equates to a 26% value retention rate. Now the Ferrari has held its value well, and manuals are appreciating faster than F1s. When we look at the 996, it's always been a cheap 911, but it's starting to be appreciated and prices are starting to creep up, but it remains at the cheap end of the 911 market. Now let's talk about maintenance and running costs. For the Ferrari 360, you have annual services, a timing belt change every 3 years, and they are notorious for wearing ball joints. But on average, I've spent £4,000 a year maintaining this car for the last 5 years. Whereas the Porsche 996, now it's had quite a lot of maintenance over the last 5 years, and it's had on average £3,000 spent, but that includes an IMS bearing change. Now that is quite a lot, but it's significantly lower than the Ferrari. So if you could only have one, which would it be? The 996, which is the smart choice. It's more affordable, relatively, dependable, and daily drivable and fun. Or the Ferrari 360, which is the emotional choice. It's exotic, it's thrilling, and it's an event every time you drive it. Now in that Top Gear video, Jeremy Clarkson said the Porsche was very, very good, but he found the Ferrari more exciting. Now I think Ferrari build cars that stir the soul, whereas Porsche, they build cars that are precision engineered, brilliant drivers' cars, and just absolutely amazing cars to drive. I don't think it's necessarily which one is better. I think it's which experience you are personally after. Now in that episode, when the Stig took them out, they had exactly the same track time. So Top Gear's verdict was they had similar performance and the Porsche was at a fraction of the price, making it remarkable value. Now 20 years later, and after owning both, I have to fully agree. Now in my humble opinion, both cars are underappreciated at the moment, and you get an awful lot of value for money in both cars. But I do think the Porsche offers slightly better value for money or value per mile than the Ferrari right now. Now I'll admit, I use the 996 far more than I use the Ferrari. But when I do take the Ferrari out, it is something truly special. They just offer completely different experiences. But what do you think? Would you go for the sensible yet brilliant Porsche or the emotional Ferrari? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks all for watching another episode of RC Classic Garage. This channel is all about the ownership experience where I share my classic car collection with you guys on YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. It really does help. Please don't forget to subscribe and see you all next time. Thanks for watching.